When we were first approached to do a film called Babe, all I was told about the movie was that it was a small film about talking farmyard animals. And they asked if I could do all of the animals that were in it, robot versions of all of those animals, there was about 24 of them. And I said, no, there wasn't the skill set for us to be able to do it. But I said, look, we'd be able to do half of the animals, that's not a problem. And the production company, Kennedy Miller, said, look, thanks, but we really want one company that will look after the whole thing. Anyway, I got a phone call about 6 months later. They'd approached Jim Henson's Creature Shop in London to do all of the animals. And they said, well, no, we can't do all that, but we could probably do about half of them. And so they approached us and said, which half do you want to do? So I said, we'll do all of the sheep, the mice, the puppies, the chickens, and the robber's dog. Jim Henson's looked after the pig, the duck, the cat, and the dogs. So we split it between the two of us. Because we had split between two companies, Henson's was well known for having a puppet performance system. So we built all of the robotics for our animals to plug straight into their control system, and they could take control of our animals. So we're looking at maybe 35 people out there, and that's just to look after the robot animals. That doesn't involve all of the trainers and animal handlers that are looking after all the real animals, of which there were many, many, many. There were so many. As far as the little pigs went, for Babe, I think there were 46 pigs that stood in for Babe, and that was all part of a very regimented breeding program. So we would always have 3 real pigs on set at any one time. So you'd have one pig that's in front of the camera, one pig that's on standby in case this pig decides he doesn't want to play anymore, and then we had one pig back in the barn. If one pig starts to squeal for whatever reason, he just gets fed up with being in front of the camera, there's another pig within earshot, usually that one will start to squeal. So that's why we kept the third one a long way away. So if anything started to upset these pigs, they would be taken off the set and taken somewhere nice and quiet, and then they'd bring the other pig in to do those particular shots. So as the film progressed, the pigs that were being bred were the right size. Look, we were only able to shoot on the real pigs for, I think, a maximum of maybe 7 or 8 days before they went from being this big to suddenly being this, to then suddenly being that big. The only way they could keep them at a certain size was to feed them a very, very special diet, and that sort of kept them small for a little bit longer, maybe 4 or 5 days longer, and then up they went.